Let's go.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Ah.
So this one is 50-year-old grandmother of 8, now set to be the UK's oldest mum's... Wait, what? Mum of quadruplets after IVF treatment.
What?
Wait. All right. So she had IVF at 50. It says the thought of having responsibility to look after and raise quads at the age of 50 is daunting.
Who told you to fast up your... Sorry.
Overwhelming for me. All right. So it's not even like a natural... It's not like she just got pregnant. She actually went through IVF to have babies. Not a baby, but babies. Plural. At the age of 50. I want to ask the question... do you think there's a certain age where you should stop having kids?
Yes.
And what do you think that age is?
45.
Just
even still, 45's a push, my guy. I can't lie.
What if... Okay, all right. Let's amend that question. What if you can still conceive at that time naturally? So it's nothing to do with IVF. It's just you get pregnant at whatever age it is. Let's say you haven't gone through the menopause.
Well, yeah, you can get pregnant at 50, you know?
Yeah,
it's rare, but people do.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a difference between going out of your way to try and have a child, like in, your middle age, versus naturally just getting pregnant at a later age?
I guess, but what if you're like, say for example, you're 45, you've always wanted kids, and you haven't been able to conceive naturally?
Then wait, why haven't you adopted yet though? It's like,
because not all people want to do adoption, unfortunately.
True.
Then why don't you have a test tube baby then, fam?
What? What's that? Ain't that like IVF?
Yeah, it's like basically they pull out take out the man's sperm, pull out your egg, and basically.
Yeah, that's IVF.
Yeah.
Fertilizer. Yeah, that's what they just did there.
Why you wait so long? Fam, think about it. When this youth's 15, you're 60, bro.
Yeah, but for all we know, we don't know how many cycles of IVF she's had. She could be having cycles for years, bro.
And
this is the first time she's been
when conceived. They were younger, when that person was younger, they might not have had the money. It's expensive.
Yeah, IVF cycles are... How much? Do you know how much they are?
They're in the grands, no?
Do you want to Google that?
Do you want to use your data?
Yeah, I'll use mine. You can keep talking.
Yeah.
Just there is Wi-Fi in this spot.
Yeah, but the Wi-Fi is weak.
I can't multitask.
Well, lucky for...
Oh, well, good for you.
Because you're running it down, Bridget. That's why it's weak on my phone.
But, there could be a number of reasons. She might not have found someone to have a child with, and then finally found the love of her life later on in life.
Woo!
What's the price?
In the UK, it's usually around 5 bags per cycle.
Wow. See, so a lot of people can't afford that.
But there's another place called City Fertility. It is 2,950. So it's basically $3,000.
And there's still a lot per cycle, and there's no guarantee that you'll even get pregnant. I still feel like
praise to the Lord.
I still feel like 50 is a bit.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Fun.
No, because you know what?
Quads, 4 kids.
Do you know what?
Where's her baby father?
I don't know.
Legit.
She ain't got no baby father.
And she's a grandma at this point, so she's already a grandmother of 8.
You got to see. Really?
She's a grandmother of 8.
So she's already got children.
Yeah.
So why she getting
So what? Nah, long, bruv. Just cut it out, man.
Fam, that means just think about it. Her grandkids are gonna have uncles that are younger than them, fam. Allow it.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
4,
mad.
4.
Legit.
She had quads. What are the chances? Is this real in England?
Yeah.
So, quick question.
Wow.
Let me just ask.
What?
You see, in those situations where the uncle is younger than the niece or nephew, what happens? Can the uncle tell the niece or nephew off?
Well,
Think about it. Can they tell the niece or nephew off?
Probably not, because do you know what it is? Probably not, because you'll kind of grow up to... It will be a different type of relationship. Does that make sense? You'll definitely grow up... If I grew up with someone that's younger than me, who's like my niece or nephew, I think the relationship will be more like sibling-ish.
Yeah, the relationship will be different, because it's just like... Well, for instance, Aaron, he's years younger than us. I don't have the same relationship with him as I do with our other cousins who like the same age bracket.
True.
So I have been that person to be like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. You're not allowed, blah, blah, blah. And he's a cousin. So I think it's an age thing.
Yeah.
I just think, I'm trying to think of how I'd feel like if it was like a personal thing. So if it was someone I knew.
That's a fix
That,
of damn life.
no, but if it's, imagine it's someone you know,
Yeah.
that you know they've been trying for years and years and years, and then finally the cycle hit and they're 50.
That's mad.
No, fam, give it up.
Because let's take away the
She's
side.
had the kids already. What are we gonna do? Tell her to put them up for adoption in England? Ugh.
Yeah.
Are you mad? Poor kids.
Fam, what?
You heard about Jimmy Savile?
No.
I don't know. What has this got to do with that?
These poor little orphans. You know? These poor little things. I'm joking.
And that just came out of nowhere.
I know.
I was just like,
I feel like your
Where's
mum.
this going?
I feel like your mum finds me funny. So do you know what? Shout out to your mum. Your mum probably found that a banterful joke. Haha.
did you? Mum, text me.
I feel like you might. Do you get? I feel like she might have small in
Because
it.
that just was like, huh? What? Yeah, so putting this grandma aside, because she's, okay, that's a bit
But
much.
so what? She's already had the kids. So
She's
what?
already had her, okay? But let's put it in the side of like, if you've never had kids or whatever.
I lie. Oh my days! Wake up.
If you've never had kids before, and you know you're 50, you're 51, you're 52, you're 53, you're in your 50s now at this point, is it selfish, do you think, to then bring a child into this world
Boy.
Look,
when then you only have about realistically like 30 more years to live?
I'm trying to just say, I'm sticking by my guns and saying no. Don't have these kids, fam.
No.
No. Let me.
No.
Okay.
Don't do
That's
it.
what you man
Don't
are.
do it.
Does this apply to men as well? I'm just asking.
Yes. Your one foot is already in the grave, bruh. Just
Wow.
Think about it. Let's say you're 50.
Wow,
No.
that's-
Think about it. Let's say you're 50.
Because fam, think about it. When you're 70, your kids are gonna be 20,
20.
bedroom.
Thank you.
It's
At least they'll be
right.
grown.
When you're 60, your kids are going to be 10 years old, fam. When you're 65, your kid is 15. Bro, keep adding that up, yeah? Bro, 1 foot get closer to the grave. You're slowly sliding, fam. Quicksand. Bro, are you serious? You ain't going to be able to run after your kids. You ain't going to be able to tell off your kids. You're going to take you for a joke. What? Bro, it's done. Like, no.
Yeah.
You can turn around and try and get help. You can try and get help, but like, no, it's not working.
I think people don't look at it the same way with guys though. I think these kind of things are shocking when it's like, oh,
It's a
woman gives
yeah.
birth at 50 years old.
Yeah, because it's also
How
very-
selfish.
No, because it's
But then
But when
when
there's
there's
a man that's in his 50s.
Yeah, and he's got like
Yeah.
a 35-year-old wife. It's like, oh, they had a baby.
No, but you know what it is? It's also because it's very taxing on the female body as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the reason why.
It is though.
No, but that's the reason why you feel like that.
No. It's part of why I feel like that because it's true.
Societal norms
Yeah,
is why he
it's a
feels
lot.
like that.
Okay, so then what about a surrogate? Then what? Look at your face there.
I can go have your kids.
No, I
But
don't know.
personally,
About
I
that.
still think it's mad because I feel like both man and woman. I think it's.
I just feel like sorry to interrupt. I just feel I'm not too sure. I guess I feel like you're gonna say yeah, but this can apply to a man as well. Yeah, but I think
What was my accent? Sorry.
Shut up.
Just say, do my voice again.
No.
Wow.
So, do you know what I mean? Like when you get older, you run the risk of several things: cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's.
hit by a car.
Huh?
Wow, that was
What?
what? Do you know what I mean? Like drop it. Do you know what I mean? Falling down the stairs. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff, and I feel like your children will become your carer just a little bit too early. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. In that regard, I agree.
Just a little bit too, and especially when it's your mother. I'm not saying that. Do you know what I mean? People don't love them father, but I'm saying when it's your mother and your mother's in your life, there's an undeniable bond.
Right.
And I feel like you're not giving. If you're gonna have a child at that age, I'm not saying it's selfish, but I think it's a situation of your children are gonna come your carer just a little bit too early, where there's a point where they'll be concentrating on you rather than enjoying their life in the way that they should be, compared to if you gave birth to them when you was in your 30s or your 40s. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
But do you think that maybe that person wants to leave like a part of them on the earth? Like it's like,
Yeah, but she got
I don't
plenty
wanna
pitney as it is.
Yeah.
no, I'm saying
She has plenty.
take away from her.
How much she has 8 grand
No,
pitney.
not her.
Oh.
Just
We're
wow.
talking as if
Yeah.
this is the same situation, only you don't have the grandkids or the kids.
Oh.
Yeah.
I still
attacking me. I'm like, no, not that situation. It's a different one.
No, I still stand by what I said. I feel like it's not. I don't think it's selfish, but I still just think you're not allowing your kids to be 20-year-olds or 25-year-olds when it matters most.
Thank you. That's
because I feel like there's so much growing that you do from the age of 16 to 30. There's so much stuff that your body goes through and your mindset go through, and how much changes you go through, and then having the pressure of having to care for a parent who might possibly become disabled, or do you know what I mean, have Alzheimer's or anything like that, or be bedridden because of XYZ. You've taken a bit of their life away, just a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying?
Understatement, fam. And that's a lot of pressure to go through as well. Like,
for such a young age, you've already got enough. Do you know what I mean? You're just trying to finish puberty, and do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much going on in your body and within your head and your mind. Mate, I'm still mash up from puberty. Do you get me? Mash up. I don't think I'm going to be an adult until I'm 30. On some real.
I think it's tailored to each individual, so I don't think there's a set yes or no. I feel like if I knew, I don't know anyone who's trying to have a baby at a big age like that.
All the women that I know, not necessarily at that age, but they're like 30s, early 40s, they already had their pick me, so they're good. Yeah,
exactly. So I can't relate. There's no one that I know, but I feel like if I did know someone, it'd probably be different, because I'm like, I know.
Are you applying this to like a normal everyday person or a more
someone that you know, I guess,
athletic person? I feel like if they're more active, then I give them a pass because they're more active. So in a later life, they're still rather active. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like if we're talking about a normal everyday person who just sit on their ass watching TV and all sorts every day, then no. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Active how?
Active, I don't know, as in
physically fit.
Yeah, physically fit.
Okay.
Like, still go to the gym, I don't know, doing rock climbing, still being active, doing this, that and other. Then I'd be like, alright, cool. I'd be more inclined to believe, alright, cool, yeah, they can.
Well, like, you'll be... No, but I don't think that doesn't... You can still go crazy, like, your mental can still...
But it's less likely that they're just going to roll over it as early, though.
But I also, do you know what I think as well?
Your wording.
What can they possibly provide?
What do you mean? Wait.
Like, I feel like when you're younger, I feel like there's a possibility of you having more drive and aspirations to get money and reach a certain standard. But when, you're going to retire when your children are like 15. If you're just regular schmegular Sarah that lives off Tottenham High Road, point. What can you possibly provide? You can't give them the most amazing life, which you possibly could have done when you were a little bit younger. Unless you want to do a fraud thing and die.
That's what I'm saying.
Die and the house is in their name.
No, because you know what? There's so many people that don't have amazing lives because they're broke throughout their whole life and they still have kids.
No, but I
feel like if that was the reason, then loads of people should not have kids.
Look, me personally, I feel like if you're broke, cool, great stuff, but you need to be able to provide for your children.
But you will.
No, but I think what you're...
So what are you going to be doing? Yeah. Still busting your back?
No. Wait. Think of it
at the age of 59?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When's the retirement age? 60? 60. When's the
retirement age? I said it's pushed up to like 70.
Oh, wow.
I said it got pushed back.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking about having kids. Well, basically, there was an article. This woman, she had quadruplets at the age of 50. And she's a grandmother of 8. So we're talking about when is too old to have a child. We're talking about all the situations where you might, be not allowed, Ooh, but the world might be like, oh, yeah, it's fine if you have a child. But like, yeah, when is too old? Is 50 too old? Yes. 45 too old? Yes. Is 40 too old?
Yes. Yeah, no,
shout out to Lee listening still. Much love.
Shout out to all the people listening.
I know, I'm being really
selective.
Sorry, guys.
If you want to join in the conversation, you can give us a call on 075 392 85333. That's 075 392 85333. Again,
you can also text us.
You can text us. And the topic, if you're just tuning in now, we're talking about when it's too old to have a child. Like what?
45.
Okay, we're asking that question. We read an article. There's a 50-year-old mum. Well, there's a 50-year-old grandmother of 8 who's just had 4 children, 4 quadruplets. So we want to know, when is too old to have a child? Get involved. All right, so we're back now, and wow, big laughter. We're back on air now.
Sorry.
Yeah, so we've got a caller on the phone. Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about like when it's too old to have a child. And what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I personally think that woman is way too old to be just having kids. She's 50, having 4 kids. Like, having 1 kid is hard enough. So 4 at 50, like, you can't keep up. When they're 2 and running around all about the place, she's just gonna collapse. What is she gonna do?
Collapse.
Tell him again, fam.
It's too old. And then when you're going to collect them from kids, all the other kids, their mum's like, oh, my mum's 25, my mum's 30, and you're there, my mum's 60. Like, what?
With a walking stick, fam.
Like, I just personally think it's way too old. Like, for me, I think the cut-off point is kind of like in your 30s. Like, once you're reaching 40, give it up now. Just stop it.
Oh,
like,
give it up.
No, because really, how are you keeping up with that kid? You have to be a very young, very, very young at heart and in good health. Because kids are hard, and when they're getting to like teenage, and then you can't control them, and then you're out of breath just trying to talk to them.
Tony. But do you think that applies to like the old school kind of 50? Because I feel like nowadays, because all I'm doing is, rah, you're 50, rah, you're 45. Oh my God, you're so young.
True. That is true. A lot of like older people are looking younger and being like acting younger, so that is true. But still, it's just a bit. By that time in life, like, I don't know, you not just want to be like living, like you're about to retire soon, and
no, but I feel
like you're just trying to be chilling and living. Like,
the only reason that
at that age you can really be having grandkids.
The only reason we're turning around and saying, okay, the our generation of older people now are looking younger, is because they're more active. Hence why I asked the question, like I did before, is the person we're talking about active? Because if they're active, then they generally tend to be a bit come across a bit younger.
That is true.
But if they're
active, then they probably can handle it more.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the normal person who be sitting watching TV all the damn time, no, fam, relax, you're gonna die there. Like, no.
Wow. Okay, calm down.
Wow.
Yeah, harsh, isn't it? Jeez. Do we have any? Yeah, no, I feel like maybe. Yeah, it's too. So when is the cutoff point for you? You're saying mid-30s. Yours is even younger, boy. You're like what age?
Yeah, I said like 40. Stop it at 40.
40.
Done.
I completely agree.
Because even then, by the time you're 40, most people are having difficulties having kids anyway. Like, your body biologically is timing out by then.
Okay, like, so I want to ask then, so like, is there a difference?
If you're then going and doing IVF and all of this, it's like, okay, God said no.
Wow.
Sorry.
But is there a difference then if you're in your 40s and then you have a child naturally, like you just get pregnant the natural way? Does that still apply?
I feel like it's an oops baby at 40.
Yeah, like if it's like, wow, okay, it just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're pregnant, but then keep whatever you decide. But I'm like actually trying to like have a kid, like actively trying and doing all the extras and all of that stuff. It's just like, I mean, I guess though on the flip side, it's like if people want a kid and by 40 they just haven't had one, who's to say that they shouldn't just because they're 40? But it's still just like a bit like, oh.
And like, what do you feel about those people that have had quite a few kids already and then they decide that they want another one? What? Wow, Raheem.
Be satisfied. Please be satisfied. Like, you've had all these kids, wait for the one of them to get pregnant and then just be that over-involved grandma. just do that. Like, you don't need to be starting again like that. Like, okay. Especially if you have kids. Like, it's one thing if you don't and you've always wanted kids and it just hasn't happened and whatever, and you can.
Right.
It's still just a bit like cringe, but yeah.
No mercy.
But like, if you've got kids, then stop it. Just relax. Get a pet. Get a dog. They're enough work.
It's true. Go find a hobby.
Wow.
Go find, I don't know, Gerald.
No,
round
for
the corner,
real.
do some.
And people treat their dogs like their kids anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You don't need these little yap things and trying to teach them to do this, and I feel like they'll turn out to be some unruly kids because what's intimidating?
No, they really will, because when you're that old and your teenager is doing this and that, you haven't got the energy to be running up behind them and disciplining them all the time. And when they're getting rude to you, they're not respecting you like that. I mean, I'm not saying you don't respect older people, but it's just when your mum can't really be on your back like that, you can't. You're just looking at them like, what?
But
like,
you know, some old people are scary,
do my business.
Some people respect their grandparents more than they do their parents.
No, that is true. That is true.
Because the old school way.
I just feel like
still your parent, regardless if they're old or not. That's still your parent.
Boy,
do you understand?
I know, but I just feel like when they can't really set the same level as discipline sometimes when they're just huffing and puffing behind you.
Oh my god! Stop. Okay, thank you for calling in.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
You say I'm rough.
That's harsh. What?
Like I said, you say I'm rough.
I think that I agree with most. Ouch. I agree with most of what Tony just said. But I don't think I'm not like by the book about it. I'm not like, okay, so this is it, and like that's how it has to be. I'm quite, because I keep saying over and over again, I feel like if I knew someone in this situation, my opinion would be different because I know them. I'm like, oh, you should definitely have a child. Like, age is nothing but a number. Like, I'd be that person. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, but see, I put like I said earlier.
There's always an age limit.
I feel like you know what? I was thinking, alright, cool. Let's say that there's an age limit of 45. Let's say the person turns
that's
around.
Still a push.
Wait. I know it's a push, but that's like the limit.
You're forcing it.
But let's say turn around and say, okay, the person got pregnant at 44 or 46. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, alright, cool. The cut-off limit is 45. If you go 46 a year later, is that worse?
About 47.
Alright, no, calm down.
You're pushing it, man.
46.5.
47. People are tired, you know?
Yeah, bro.
You've been working for a good 25 years.
Do we have anyone over the age of 45 listening? If you can call in 075
or text
075 392 85333. I'm going to read it again. Do you have a pen? Yes. Okay. 075 392 85333. I want to hear what you think. If you're over the age of 40, okay, let's just put it to 40. I want to hear what you would think about the situation. If you think there is an age limit,
put it down.
And how you feel. So if you feel lively or if you feel decrepit, like what Tony was saying, basically, I feel like sometimes our perception of like a middle-aged person is a bit off, and it's not that deep. Like, I feel like I stay.
It's like, you know what? It's like I'm saying. If you're active, cool. You can if you're active and you're fairly fit in life in your old age, you can run around after a child. But if you're a couch potato, it's not happening.
Regardless, if you're old and if you're whole,
you're tired.
You're tired.
Not if you're old. If you're whole,